back to All In and the Blair Witch videography. 6 miles done this evening, it's Monday, and yeah, just nice and relaxed and easy. Probably could have done a double today, but just kept it at 6. The aim for this week is to just back up last week. Last week was 80 miles with a little bit of intensity, so it'd be nice to hit 80 again and just a little bit more intensity. So just sprinkle a bit more into the week, but if I can hit the volume of 80 miles, I'd be very happy. So yeah, just 6 easy to start the week. Legs feel decent after the long run yesterday, and we go into double threshold tomorrow.
It's Tuesday, and today I've got double threshold. I've just run back from nursery, which is about a mile. Very nice and slow, mainly to keep warm because it's cold out there today, but also just to warm everything up because I'm now going to do some activation. I'm going to get the massage gun out, address the areas where I get tight, which is mainly like the glute medius. My hips just get really tight. And I'll also get the mini massage gun out and work over the calves, just loosen everything off before I get out there for the morning session. We call it double threshold, but for me, double threshold is actually more in the morning, a sub-threshold type work, and then in the evening, closer to that LT2. So this morning one will be 5 times 6 minutes, and the 6-minute effort will be sort of marathon effort, so it'll be faster and a higher effort than LT1. It'll put some lactate into the system, but lactate is a flux. It's basically how much you generate and how much you use. It's always in flux. So I'll be processing most of that lactate pretty well, hopefully with my body. So by the end of the session, with the recoveries, 1 minute recoveries between each, the lactate should hopefully be low 2. So between 2 and 3 for me is fine. So this session is much closer to the LT1, a little bit faster, but you've got some recoveries as well, so your body should handle it quite nicely. And then later I will do 20 to 25 times a minute, depending how the calves feel, because sometimes they can get quite tight and need to get used to the load. And that's much closer to LT2. It'll actually be faster than LT2, but with the 30-second recoveries between each, you keep it, the lactate under control and the associated metabolites. So yeah, the second session is a much faster session, much harder session, but still controlled enough so the lactate should hopefully between 3 and 4. 3.5 is where I aim for my body. I've been doing these sessions with the lactate meter for a long time now, so I've got a really good idea of the sort of effort, how it feels, and also roughly where my lactate should be after a session. I sometimes take lactates during the session as well, but it can be a little bit distracting. The strips are quite expensive, so it uses a bit more money to use them during the session, and also sometimes taking the readings can mess up with your recoveries, especially with the 1 minute efforts when you've only got 30 seconds recovery. Yeah, you've got to try and get your lactate meter out, prick your finger for some blood, take the reading, etc. It takes longer than 30 seconds. So anyway, this morning's one, 5 times 6 minutes. Let's call it sub-threshold. It's all between LT1 and LT2, these both sessions. That's why it's called double threshold. This one's much closer to LT1, that first threshold. So yeah, just relax into it. It should feel strong and controlled. And with the recoveries, it takes care of itself basically. The key to this session is to not push too hard and save yourself for the fact that you've got a second session and a big volume day. So time for me to get the massage gun out, do some mobility. I was going to say stretching, it's hardly stretching. Bit of mobility, bit of massage gun, get out there, get this session done.
Done. Actually feel pretty smooth. It's quite nice. I haven't felt smooth in a while, but I think the consistency of last week just allowed me to feel a bit more smooth and in control on this one. Reps coming in against the wind in the 530s, with the wind in the 520s. One left against the wind, so more headwind than tailwind today, but same training effect. 30 seconds left of the recovery, and yeah, just tick this one off, recover well, and then go again later. There we go, session done. Lactate 2.3, pretty much exactly where I wanted it. Felt really controlled, so really happy with that. Jog back, which is about 2 miles now, so it should be about 9 miles, 9 something. this morning and feel good. Haven't had breakfast yet, so we'll have breakfast now. Some people would say, oh, you should do the session fueled, but it's so controlled. Like, I'm not too worried. Like, it's less than an hour session, it's 30 minutes of work, and it's just a really controlled pace. I've got plenty of fuel on board from last night's dinner and yesterday's food, so not an issue not to have food with this one, but we'll need to refuel now, make sure that I'm feeling good and ready for the second session of the day later. So second threshold done. I was aiming for 20 reps, but my car started to tighten up, so I called it at 15 reps. Been here before, pushed through it before, and caused issues with my car for a few days, so I'm trying to hold back and not do that again. And we're at the beginning of the block. There's no point in forcing anything. It's a big day and it's a long block. So yeah, just trying to listen to my body and not take any chances, but really happy with the session. 15, not sure the pace is, I'll put that on the screen. One rose headwind coming in at low 5s, and then tailwind coming in sub 5 per mile. So yeah, pretty quick, happy with that. Lactate at the end was 3.7, so pretty much exactly where I wanted it. The aim was about 3.5, so 3.7 is decent, and a good session banked and a good day banked. Happy with that. We'll do some massage on the calf later. Hopefully that's not an issue in the next few days, but if that holds up, then yeah, a really good double threshold day. So Wednesday recovery run done on the trails, really nice and relaxed. Happy with that. Calves felt fine. I got the massage going on this morning, eased everything off, no issues. So I'm happy that I called yesterday's session a little short, because I want to keep that consistency going. But yeah, felt really good on the trails. Nice sunny day, very cold, but don't mind that, just layer up. And my pace was considerably quicker actually than I was expecting. Normally I go out on the trails on a recovery day and it's 8 something a mile, and I don't look at my watch, just do the run to feel, get home and see what it was. But it was 7:40 something today. So yeah, the run was like 51 minutes and it would normally be closer to an hour. So yeah, really nice, felt good. Fitness is starting to build, I think, which is good. I've got steady running tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. Get the Alpha Fly on, clip along, see what I can do on the steady run tomorrow. Potentially might get on the bike later. Do want to increase the volume, but didn't want to do too much today after the double threshold yesterday. So I decided when I got in for my run, not hang around, don't think, don't go on your phone, just act. So I just jumped straight on the bike, got 50 minutes done, so 50 minutes of running, 50 minutes of bike, boost that volume. On the bike I can push a little bit steadier. My heart rates are different on the bike to running, and also my lactate levels are different, so I've got to be aware of that, but I use watts just to have a gauge of roughly what I'm doing. So yeah, I just push steady. Lactate at the end was 1.7, so that's pretty much where I wanted it. I wanted it to be like high 1s, which has indicated in the past when I've done testing that I'm in zone 2, so I'm getting a really nice aerobic benefit. Yeah, I can push a little bit harder on the bike the day after a session, whereas on the run I like to keep it nice and easy. Obviously on the bike there's no impact, so there's less danger of causing any bone issues. So yeah, a nice day, an hour 40 minutes of aerobic volume on the bike, a little steadier, easy on the run, and I go into Thursday feeling good and feeling like finally I'm starting to train hard. Hard but hopefully smart as well. Morning on a beautiful Thursday morning. I've just done 10 miles steady. I put the Alpha Fly version 1 on, which is such a bouncy, efficient shoe. I absolutely love them. Do want to try the version 3, haven't got a pair yet, but hopefully get one in the next drop in March. Yeah, so last week's steady, I did 8 miles steady and it came in at 6:20 something a mile, and I wasn't deflated because that's just where I was at. But today that pace dropped significantly, and I don't think it's a massive jump in fitness. I think it's just my body getting back used to where it was. In December I was running low 6s for my steadies. Last week 6:20, today back to low 6. I think it was 6 flat. Took my lactate after 9 miles, 1.5, spot on, zone 2, lovely. I would have been happy if it was 1.7, 1.8, even 1.9. I wanted to just keep it below 2, so I know that I'm not out of control, that any lactate I am producing at that intensity, I'm also using up as well. So yeah, nice and controlled, nice zone 2 work, a bit of a confidence boost, getting 10 miles done at about 6 pace. Yeah, got a long way to go, but anytime you see a jump in fitness or just feeling a bit smoother at certain paces, it's always a good thing. So 10 miles banked, club night tonight, a good start to the day. Really nice, guys. So just finished the club session and heading to the cafe now for a hot chocolate. Some people have already headed off and some are driving across, so I'm on my own for the last bit of the cool down. But yeah, really good session. We did a blend session, 6 minutes threshold, 10 times a minute hard, and then back to threshold for 4 minutes. So that was good. I thought I was going to be easy and controlled, but I actually worked fairly hard tonight, which is nice. Not on my limit, but just some faster running but controlled. So that's good to bank that volume. Feeling good. And I treat myself to a hot chocolate. I should point out that I deliberately wear like my recovery shoes, my easy day shoes at this session, so that I don't do it hard. So it's a bit weird. It's not awkward feeling, but just different. I'm trying to run fast in them. So I'm wearing the New Balance More version 4, which I absolutely love. Great shoe for easy days, but not a great shoe for some of the minutes we were doing, like sub 5 minute running. Still felt quite smooth, but you can tell when you're not wearing a shoe designed to run fast. It's Friday night. I've just done 5.5 miles, really nice and easy. Nothing much to report except that I could not be bothered to get out. Really nearly skipped this one. And maybe in another block I would have skipped it, but this time I forced myself out, put a podcast in and got it done. It's just so easy when you're just tired and want to stay in the warmth and have dinner, to skip a run where you don't feel like you're going to get much fitness benefit. But I wanted to keep the volume ticking over and yeah, just not make any excuse this time, not have a block where I start skipping runs, especially when I'm only in week 2 and there's no reason for it. So 5.5 miles banked, really nice easy day, helped me recover. I've got a long run tomorrow. I've booked in Andy the Fod runner to get out for a long run on the trails, so that should be good. Can't wait for the long run, and yeah, feeling decent and happy that I didn't sit on the sofa and I actually got out.
Morning, it is Saturday morning, about 7:20. Long run with Andy this morning. I am so tired. I was sat watching Netflix last night thinking, I bet Andy's tucked up in bed, resting, ready for the long run. And here I am, it's late, and I've got toast and honey in front of me. I'm stuffing my face still, and I should be sleeping. I was going to say it's one of the 1%ers I need to focus on in this training block, but it's not even a 1%er, it's much more than that. I see sleep as such a huge part of recovery, and recovery is such a huge part of training and getting a training effect and getting a successful marathon training block. So it's something I need to address. I need to stop being so comfortable, but it's just really difficult. After a long day, the kids finally settle down, you just want some time to decompress. And we end up having our dinner so late, and then we just want to watch a little bit of TV. But maybe I'm just going to have to knock that on the head and just realise that sometimes, you know, for this marathon block, I really do want to go all in, so I can't just prioritise that decompression time and just go to bed. Maybe just a bit of reading before bed or something. Anyway, long run today is going to be hopefully 18 miles, just easy, steady pace, not pushing any intensity in the long run yet, just building up that volume. Again, I'm looking for an 80-mile week, but the volume of the long run will hopefully, if today goes to plan, jump by 2 miles, so a bit longer on the long run. And yeah, just waiting for Andy now, and then we'll get out there.
It's beautiful. He's a gazelle.
Work hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, please make my life more simple. Miles inside these shoes, so I don't stomp, I tiptoe. Fell 1,000 times and still I roll no limp though. But I wouldn't trade a thing for what I have. I go hard, do what I need to make it last. They say the good die young, I hope I'm bad. Cheers to my packs.
Here he is, I know you've missed him. You probably haven't.
Yeah, I've no idea who the hell I am.
Andy, pod runner. He's put loads of videos out since my last one, but here we are, finally back on the trails together. How's it going, mate?
Good, thank you. Yeah, 6 weeks into a London Marathon training block, or coming to the end of 6 weeks. Good start so far. Transition period around 12 weeks out, so that'll be another couple of weeks. Race next weekend, see where fitness is at. Just yeah, enjoy logging the miles. Beautiful crisp morning out here today.
Bobby cool, you gotta know. Work hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, please make my life more simple. Miles inside these shoes, so I don't stomp, I tiptoe. Fell 1,000 times and still I roll no limp though. But I wouldn't trade a thing for what I have. I go hard, do what I need to make it last. They say that.
And there we go, 2 hours, just over 2 hours, 18 miles at a steady pace. A lot faster than last week's long run. Last week's long run was all about taking it easy and trying to just see how my body handled running for longer. Whereas I know when I run with Andy, he'll keep it honest and steady. So yeah, a lot quicker. I think it was like 6:40 something, maybe 6:49, 48 a mile, which is like pretty much bang on sub-3 marathon pace on the trails. 2 hours, 18 miles. Really good. Great to catch up with Andy. We haven't done a long run for so long, and it makes it so much easier with company, just chatting away, catching up with everything, talking about running, talking about life, talking about dad life. By the way, that weird doll there is not mine. It's a bit creepy that it's in the baby seat. That's Alice's. She likes to take it around with her. But yeah, really good. Nice, not a confidence boost, because I really struggled actually for the last like 20-30 minutes of that. But a confidence boost in a way that it's nice to have 2 hours steady done. It's nice to see the progression, and I know I'll adapt well to that, because eventually I'm going to be doing long runs of about 2 hours with loads of intensity in it, and they are tough. And until I've put the volume in and capacity and adapted to just 2 hours steady, then those long runs with the intensity aren't going to happen. So hopefully I adapt well to that, recover, and it's nice to be on, what am I on, about 74 miles on a Saturday. So I'll do 6 easy tomorrow or something like that to make it 80-mile week. And yeah, really happy with that. There we go, 7 miles to finish the week and bring up 80 miles for the week. Really happy with how this week's gone. Built a bit of intensity, but held that volume at 80. Double threshold Tuesday. Thursday was a steady run plus the easy-ish intervals on the club night, and then a steady long run on the trails. So yeah, really nice. The rest of the days are all easy, and yeah, brought up 80 miles, decent week. I left 20 hours. I'd done this easy run tonight, this evening, so that I had longer recovery between the long run and this easy run. Probably didn't need it, but I'm just trying to be cautious at this point because I haven't been hitting 80 miles for a while. So just allow my body to settle at that sort of load before I build again. Hopefully next week, maybe creep up into the mid 80s with the same sort of intensity in the week. Did one bike session this week, didn't do a VO2 max session on the bike, so we'll have to make sure I get one of those done next week. Don't want to leave any energy systems lacking, but not quite ready to do a really hard session running yet, as I try and build up the volume and stress that I can handle. But yeah, really happy with that. Time for dinner, week banked, all in. See you next week.